Before we start, let's wait for others. Please confirm if am I audible. Let's wait for one more minute before we start so that others can join. In the chat section, can you please confirm if I'm audible? Great. So let's start. And last 15 minutes we'll keep for live questions. You can ask any question in the chat section and we'll cover them live. For now, we have some previous questions which could not be answered last time, so we'll try to address those questions first. Okay. So the first question is, please tell us more about Aham Shoonyam and Paroksh Yogis. Yes, so Aham Shoonyam means I am nobody, I'm no one, I'm zero. Aham means I am, and Shunyam means zero. Aham also means the psychological me, ego. So there are many uh, meanings to the same word. So ultimately, we call ourselves Aham Shunyam. There are many Aham Shunyams because we don't want to identify with the story so far, whatever happened in the past in the story, and want to be identified with the bigger collective consciousness with the purpose of sharing love and whatever we have learned so far from various different masters in the Himalayan region. And Paroksh Yogis is also That means that those yogis or those masters or great beings, realized beings who never came out, and they have no intention to be known, but whoever comes to them and shares their concern, they very lovingly share their knowledge. And Aham Shunyam Foundation is trying to collect those pulse of wisdom of many different beings, and we are trying to collect it and share it in simple way, so that those who are willing to be receptive to it, be open to it, they can use their own intellect to really analyze that, is it helpful for me? If it is, you can apply it. And we also understand that most people may not apply it, but when universe would want to help you, same message will come in many different ways through many different sources. So when the time would be right, then you'll be ready to understand and apply these methods or teachings or realizations, you would apply that. So why we are choosing this approach of sharing knowledge without coming in front, without showing face, and without sharing the real names and all, is because it is not about the person who is sharing it. It is not, this knowledge is not coming from a person. It is something which consciousness wants you to hear at this moment, so that you can apply it in your life. First of all, you analyze it. No need to believe everything at the face value. Use your own intellect, analyze it. Is it useful for you or not? And if it connects with you, you will automatically feel the urge and motivation to apply it in your life. Something will connect with you, and you will know this is true for you. So that's the purpose of these sessions here. We have no intention to be a teacher or guru. There is nothing to teach really, because it's not about teaching anything new or sharing any new thing. Deep down, you already know. You already are a divine being. It's just that the play which is going on, the game which is going on, in this particular story, you are playing a character who is supposed to forget itself for some time. And then how you realize it, how many challenges you go through, how many people you meet, and you learn new things, new perspectives, and then you realize who you really are. That's the story all about. From the absolute perspective, there is no concept of time, how much time would it take to realize, and all. There is no such thing. It's just a grand cosmic play, cosmic joke going on. So just the easiest way to really connect with all this knowledge is not take your story too seriously, because ultimately you would have to realize, either now or after the so-called passage of time, and then you'd see that it was all a dream, a joke which you played on yourself. So keep your mind open, see if it connects with you, and if there are any questions, any doubts, please feel free to share. And we here have no intention to share it in a teacher and student manner. Consider this voice as your friend, as the sound of your own inner self, and still do not believe everything. Just analyze and then see if it is helpful for you. Okay, so let's go to the next question. I could not continue my meditation as it is for 1 hour. I have not done it since last 3 months and felt real guilty about it. What to do? The simple answer for this question is, and I'm sure many people face this issue. The simple answer to this question is not doing meditation would not harm much, but feeling guilty about not doing meditation would definitely harm you a lot. Because feeling bad about, you're not doing good enough, this feeling is not healthy for the mind. So if you could not continue the practices, forgive yourself. Don't worry about that. That will not harm you. It's just that you could have gained more, you did not get it, no problem. But if you will start feeling bad about it, that is definitely going to harm you. So if any such situation happens, please move on. If you really feel the inclination to do the practice, your mind may create many excuses to delay it and create some laziness and all. Yes, it may do all that. But if your intention and your interest is pure and you really want to feel the same experience and you want to go through that, you'll automatically find ways to do it again. One way to do it is you create a discipline, but please make sure again that discipline doesn't mean that you missed one session, one day you could not do it because of any reason, then you should not feel bad about it. Mind may justify feeling bad, saying that no, this is wrong, otherwise you will miss again. It may justify that, but please do not let the mind play that game with you. If you missed one day, no problem. You start again. Okay, that's the best approach. And you would know within you that missing one day is not a problem. No one is going to punish you. It's not a kind of a deal you have made with someone that if you miss one day you'll be punished. Don't get into that trap. Just start again. Yes. Okay, so next question. Okay, if we have achieved oneness with the source, does it mean we can manifest anything? Well, you are manifesting all the time. When I say you, not your surface level thoughts, because your thoughts keep on changing, that its desires, its fears, so that keeps on changing. Your surface level thoughts are not manifesting, but your deep beliefs at your subconscious level, that level has the power to manifest. So if your surface level thoughts are saying no, I can do it, I can do it, but deep belief is saying, can I, am I really worthy? If your deep belief has doubts, it may mess it up. Once you're absolutely sure deep down in your belief level, at the subconscious level, then there is a higher chances of success in anything. So if we have achieved oneness with the source, does it mean we can manifest anything? That's the original question. There is no need to assume that you have to achieve oneness with the source, because no point in time ever you lost that connection with the oneness. You are already connected. You are always connected. So mind plays this game of achieving something, traveling a distance, and assuming that you have not reached there so far and you have to travel and then you will. But in absolute level, there is no concept of space or time. So there is no distance. You are always connected. You are always manifesting something or the other based on your deep beliefs. And if you really want to change what you want to experience, you have to really dig deeper and identify what are those beliefs, those negative beliefs, or those doubts, or those fears, which are not letting you trust this flow of life fully and is not letting you experience what you want to experience. So, your belief design what you experience. Okay. So, next question is, so the next question, my issue is that I need a pristine place to be able to meditate. No one walking around, no TV, audio in that space, etc. This is often not possible. How do I help train myself to focus in spite of the environment? This is critical for me to be able to continue meditation, and I really want to do so. This is a very good question, and we get similar questions quite often. So, if you also have these kind of doubts and this kind of question, you can mention in the comment section, and please pay attention that meditation does not require outer silence. It does not require outer quietness. You don't have to expect that others should stop speaking, that others should stop their activities just because you want to meditate. That's a wrong expectation. Meditation is about inner silence, it's about inner quietness. Now, I understand that it may appear very difficult in the beginning because of the misconceptions around what is meditation. So, to make it very simple, there is a recent guided meditation which we uploaded on YouTube called Effortless Stillness. And if you will listen to and pay attention to the initial instructions, it simply says that pay attention to the sounds around you, what kind of sounds you can hear. There might be car driving by, there may be people chatting, there might be some other sounds. Some may be pleasant, some may be unpleasant, but there is no need to tag them as pleasant or unpleasant. Allow them to exist. Accept everything the way it is. No need to expect that others should not disturb you, because no one can disturb you unless you allow them to. Okay, so please let go of any misconceptions around what is meditation. It is not about going to a quiet place. Yes, it may help initially, but ultimately you would have to learn to be able to relax your mind wherever you want. You may be traveling in a train in a crowded place, you can be in the market, but you can still manage to calm your mind and experience the inner stillness that can be experienced anywhere. Now, there are two ways to do it. One is by being aware of what is going on at the level of surroundings, the outer experiences, and accepting it the way it is. You're not trying to change it, you're not trying to expect that some noise should not be there, something is bad or something is good. You're not tagging them, you're not judging them, you are allowing it to exist as it is. Then you shift your attention to your body, that what is happening at the level of body. There may be pleasant experience in the body, there may be unpleasant experiences, some part may be, paining, or there might be many things which may happen at the level of body. Just accept the body the way it is, and then shift your attention to the mind. There might be thoughts, some many weird kind of thoughts may come. Your mind may come up with the to-do list, what you have to do throughout the day and what needs to be done in coming week. So yes, it's mind's job. So understand it this way. In simple words, meditation is accepting the existence as it is on all levels, at the level of the world, outer experience, at the level of body, at the level of mind. As soon as you accept everything the way it is, you will automatically see that a calmness, a sense of stillness will arise. So that's the right approach. And then, if you want to dive deeper, wherein in deep meditative states, you may lose the sense of surrounding, you may lose the sense of body, you may lose the experience of mind and thoughts and emotions. Yes, that would come later when you will be in this absolute acceptance. Then gradually, even that will arise, wherein for some seconds, maybe for some minutes, you will have no experience of the world, you will have no experience of thoughts or emotions, you will not have any experience of your own body, as if everything disappeared for some time. You, in your pure state, without the experience of the world, the body, or the mind, in your pure state of consciousness. And then you may go deeper into it, wherein you are not even conscious of whether you exist or not, in a pure awareness state. So yes, all that may happen, but first of all, please understand that the objective of meditation is also to be in absolute acceptance. So it's not just about those 15, 30 minutes, 1 hour, you are feeling peaceful, and then rest of the day you are feeling restless. You are waiting for the next session next day. That's not the goal. That's not the objective. The idea is that it brings you to a state of so much acceptance that you're not creating any unnecessary friction or resistance against your reality. So when that starts happening, that's a clear sign that you are progressing in the right direction. You will notice that the same situations which used to trigger frustration, anger, or hatred now are having no impact on you. Same situations are coming, but you are responding very differently. Your perception is different. You are more in the sense of acceptance and compassion towards others, and you can see the perspective of other people. All these effects will be visible, and others around you may or may not notice, but it will be very clear for you that there is a sense of calmness, a sustainable stillness which you can retain throughout the day, and that can be maintained throughout the day. So there may be a point in future wherein you will not need the 30 minutes practice, because your whole day is meditative. You are in awareness all the time. Even if some negative thought appears, you can realize it immediately, you can catch it immediately, and you can shift your attention away from it, because you don't want to feed that negative belief or negative thought which will waste your time and your energy. So that's the right approach to deal with this. Okay, so let's go to the next question. Yes, so how does one witness watch oneself throughout the day until it becomes part of one's everyday life? Well, we already covered this in the previous question, that how can you witness or watch oneself throughout the day until it becomes part of one's everyday life? Yeah, I can share one more method which you can apply. Initially, you can visualize as if you're watching a movie in which your body is also a character. So you are seeing it from a third person perspective. You're witnessing your own body, mind, whatever is mind is thinking, whatever emotions are coming. You just assume, you play a game with you that you're watching a movie in which, like for example, right now, you can just visualize it like this, that all this activity which is going on, you're listening to this voice, and this is happening as if it is happening in a movie, and you are witnessing it. You are not participating in it. You are letting the body do whatever is needed. You're letting the mind analyze, what is being said is helpful or not, and all that. You'll allow it to happen, but you are not participating. So one thing which will add additional depth to your practice of being aware all the time is acknowledging this fact that there are certain functions at the level of body and mind. For example, your digestive system, your heart is beating. These are all functions. They are doing their job. But you never say to anyone that, wait for a minute, I am pumping blood to the body. You do not take ownership of that. You never say, I am beating so that the body can get blood. You know that function belongs to the heart. So heart is doing it. So you take it for granted, and it keeps on happening. You never say, I am doing that. Similarly, for digestion, this is a function which is going all the time. So you just say, okay, digestion is happening. And similarly, breathing process is happening. So you do not say to anyone that, wait, I have to take the next breath. So because it is happening on its own. Similarly, your mind has its function. Your emotions have their function. So they are doing it. So you don't have to ever suppress it. You never have to claim the ownership also, that I am thinking. You can rephrase it that my mind is thinking. Why is it important? Because it will create a distance at the psychological level. It will create a distance that you are not assuming that you are the mind. You're not assuming that you are the one who is feeling emotion, or whatever the feelings are. You're saying my mind is feeling this way. So this is important because gradually that's how you will experience it also. It will become a factual experience that this is how it is. Mind has its function. If there is any danger, mind would respond. The fight or flight response would get triggered. But all that can be witnessed. All that can be witnessed, that this is happening, this function is happening, and I don't have to claim the ownership as if I am the one getting disturbed, I am the getting stressed, I am the one getting frustrated. Okay, let the mind feel whatever it is. Do not reject it, acknowledge it. But then an analysis can happen there, that is it really helpful to hold on to this belief, this negative belief? Is it really helpful? Is it solving anything? Then you can decide to shift the attention to something which is more productive. If there is a problem in front of you, there are only two options. Either you can do something about it, or you cannot do anything about it. It's not in your control. So if you can do something about it, why you have to waste time in worrying about it? Spend time in do whatever you can do. And if it is really out of your control, you cannot do anything about it, then anyhow it's a wastage of time and energy to worry about it, because you anyhow cannot do anything about it. So why waste time? Do something else. If you can do something about it, focus your energies and whatever efforts you can apply, please do and solve it. So that's the approach. So yes, you can be in the witness mode. Remember these things first. All these are functions. You do not have to claim the ownership. That's what is described in Bhagavad Gita as, do not claim the doership. Yeah. there are certain things which are happening, there are certain karmas, which are required. You let the body, let the mind do, and remember that you are not the doer. Okay, these are functions which are happening, and based on that you perform certain things. All right, so let's go to the next question. I've been experiencing bouts of anxiety, fear of disease, death, mood swings after recent Vipassana meditation retreat. I want to surrender, but that is not happening. A lot of overthinking too. In contrast, my earlier experiences of meditation with any method were full of joy and happiness. Even now, meditation is calm, but mind, once out of meditation, is a kind of uncertainty and restlessness is there besides physical issues. I don't seem to connect. See, there are many methods. Vipassana method is one of them. So, if you have tried this method for many days or weeks and you are not feeling the connect with it, you can try other methods. There are many other methods. And this kind of feeling which you are getting of anxiousness, fear of disease or death or mood swings, this might be because of the cleansing process which might have been triggered by the meditation process which you are practicing. That is not necessarily a bad thing, because when the cleansing happens, it is inevitable that all your suppressed emotions, your hidden fears will come to the surface, because that's how cleansing happens. Suppose you have to clean a house. If you have to clean a house, you have to go to every corner, and then you will see a lot of trash. But if you'll get afraid of the trash, how would you clean it? So you have to be aware that yes, regardless of which method you will choose, cleansing has to happen. So mind would come up with hidden desires, hidden fears, and all those things will come to the surface level. You don't have to get attached to it. Don't feel bad about it. Just let that's an opportunity to let go of it. That's the whole purpose of the cleansing process. Just like after cleaning the house, you collect the trash and you let go of it. You do not feel bad, oh, why there was so much trash in the house. You do not, keep it in front of you and keep feeling bad about it, because you are aware that this is the whole purpose of cleaning. So you collected it, now you have to let go of it. So similarly, when these things happen at the level of mind, so yes, many emotions may come. Sometimes you may get uh, like bouts of anger, frustration. These things may come, but that's an opportunity to see why is it coming. And as soon as you acknowledge that you don't have to feed it further, you can let go of it. Then next time any such situation would arise, you would know that I don't have to go that route, because that's what happened last time. So it can be turned into a great opportunity to let go of old patterns which were triggered by certain situations. You can witness how mind is reacting to it, how it is responding, and you can change your perspective there, and you can say that this is the pattern I've been following so far. That was not helpful, so let's let go of it. Let's see it differently. So that will give you an opportunity. All right, so the next question: is there any way we can fast forward our karmic grind and move fast forward to lessen our karma's burden in this cycle of life and death? Fast forward. Yes, so first of all, please always remember this: that's karma prarabdha, and all these words are sometimes misunderstood. Okay? It's not about reward and punishment. Okay? It's about what kind of experiences you went through, difficulties you went through, and then based on that, certain actions were triggered. You may tag them as pleasant, some may be unpleasant, and then your mind may try to justify that, oh, you did this, you deserve to be punished, or this or that, or if you did something good, you may say you deserve to be rewarded and all. You don't have to get into all that, because mind is not really capable enough to identify what is really good, what is really bad. In absolute sense, there is nothing bad. So these are all misconceptions. The existence is what it is, and based on situations, based on what were your perception at that time, what was your understanding at that time, you do certain actions. So yes, you based on that you will experience certain things, but there is no need to tag that as if it is some grinding, as if you are getting punished, as if there are certain sins and all. You don't have to believe all that. A more positive approach towards it is, there may be some unpleasant experiences which happened in your life story so far. Those were not punishments, those were opportunities for you to learn something. That was a signal from the universe that you have to learn something. Until the time you will not learn the lesson, you will keep facing the same kind of situation in many different forms, many different challenges. As soon as you learn the lesson through it, that will be an opportunity to transcend it and then experience something other, like whatever theme you would be exploring. So if you will hold on to this kind of concept that it is some kind of grinding, and then it will be a very difficult journey, because mind is holding this belief, and as I mentioned earlier, that your beliefs are designing your experiences, your so-called reality. So please be careful of what kind of belief your mind is holding on to. And if you change the perspective and if you say that there is nothing bad, the existence is beautiful, there are no good or bad experiences, there are pleasant experiences and challenging experiences. There is no need to tag any experience as bad, as negative. And as soon as you change your perspective like this, then you will see that even if there are some unpleasant ones, you will be able to glide through it, like you are adventurous about it, you are solving whatever the situation is, and that will be a way more positive experience for you, and it will be like frictionless experience for you. And that's the whole purpose of spirituality and meditation. It is not about that you will avoid the bad experiences, so-called bad experiences. You may still get challenges. All the realized beings also got challenges, like recent great masters like Ramakrishna Paramhansa, his student Swami Vivekananda, and Ramana Maharshi. They all had challenges in their lives, and some had cancer, and they, many different things and challenges. So it don't assume that this would wipe out the unpleasant experiences. It just means that you will be way more capable to handle it effortlessly, frictionlessly. And coming back to the question about fast forwarding it, any spiritual practice would definitely fast forward it. And that's one of the reason that uh, some people who get into meditation and spirituality, they start facing many kind of tests. in a way, like universe is testing you, that how much you have learned to remain calm and patient. So universe will test your patience in a way. So you don't have to treat it in a negative way. In a way, it's fast forwarding, and it's just like, in a, when you go to school or university, when you have completed certain modules or uh, any session, then after that there is a test where how much you have understood and all. So similarly, if you are learning faster, that means you will face faster test situations, so that you can really identify how much you have learned, how much you have experienced. Because it is not about theoretical learning, it's a practical learning. You have to apply it every day. So yes, all these things would come. And so yes, fast forwarding the burning of karma, as some people call it, yes, that all, any spiritual practice, if you go deep into it, that will trigger it, regardless of which method you choose, whether it is through bhakti devotion, or through gyan marg, or through kriya marg, or karma yoga, you're in selfless service, whichever path you choose, yes, all these things will happen automatically. Okay, so in the last 15 minutes, I will try to take few questions from the chat. Okay. There is one question here. Is Manoj Virakumar, is there free will? See, the free will is there depending on from which perspective you are seeing it. So there is a choice there. If there is certain experience in front of you, how you're perceiving it, you're tagging it as negative or positive, that choice you do have. And then what kind of beliefs you are feeding, that choice you have. Are you feeding your fears, your doubts? If mind deep deep belief is saying, am I worthy yet, am I good enough, do I need validation from others, am I trying to prove something? So what kind of belief you're feeding, that choice you have. Where are you keeping your attention? Because wherever you'll keep the attention, you'll feed that particular experience, whether it is experience of outward experience, or particular thoughts, or particular beliefs. So if you identify that certain beliefs are not serving you in a positive way, you can choose to stop the connection of energy to it, stop feeding them, and you can create new beliefs, positive beliefs. That one positive belief, if you have, because whether you know it or not, at any given point in time, you do have beliefs. Deep down, everyone has beliefs. So why not go for the highest forms of beliefs? Like, I am an eternal divine being. My true state is a pure state. Or like the essence of Vedas, Soham, I am that. So if you feed this kind of thought process, initially it will come as a thought, and gradually when you repeat it kind of and as an affirmation, as a mantra, then it will become your deep belief that I am that. I don't have to assume that I am any less, or I am separated from the source, or it's all, these are all assumptions. And it will be your experience as if you are an isolated entity, you, me versus world, because you are feeding that belief. As soon as you create a counter positive belief, that how is it possible that I can be isolated when all is one, and all that is that one divine entity, whatever word you want to use, universe, or pure awareness, or pure source, whatever word, it doesn't matter which word you choose. How can you be separate from it? How can you be any less? Why do you have to assume that you have lost any connection? So you feed those beliefs, and that will become your reality. So yes, there is free will in that sense. Regarding situations, because your beliefs are not always in your control, so you experience situations, sometimes they are according to what you prefer, or most of the time it's not. That's why all this friction is happening. The best way to deal with it is in be in acceptance, and then you will see that going with the flow is the right way. Many great masters have said that in many different ways. In Sanskrit, it is called Anugachatu Pravaham. So, path of least resistance. Okay. And there is one question from Archana. Always we are fighting with the mind. Is it possible to make our mind our best friend? Yes, of course. How can your mind be your enemy? It's like, you are fighting with your own shadow. You are using sword and sticks and knives to kill your own shadow. Why don't you listen? Why are you not doing like this? Or there is another example, that you are looking at the mirror and you are looking at the reflection, and you're saying why this reflection is not smiling, why this reflection is not happy. And this reflection is not just your mind, it is the whole experience of the world. So why is it not smiling? Because you are not smiling. You don't have to wait for the reflection to smile. As soon as you will smile, the reflection will also smile. The world will feel beautiful. The mind will feel happy. Basically, it's about the approach. Yes, so world is your reflection, mind is your reflection. What are the deep beliefs? That's what is reflecting at the level of thoughts, at the level of so-called mind. So please do not fight with it. It's a battle which you can never win. So you can try for as long as you want. There is no rush. You can learn by mistakes. You can do trials and errors, because nature is not in hurry. Okay, so you can try all the methods. Ultimately, you will have to get exhausted, and then you will feel that, oh, why I was fighting with my own reflection. It is your own shadow. And what is mind? Like, for example, a shadow, it exists, but is it real? Similarly, your thoughts, they exist, they are experienced, but is it really real? Is it tangible? So what exactly are you fighting with? So relax. Either you understand by these words, or by your own experience, by many attempts of fighting and then realizing. It's your choice. But ultimately, everyone has to realize that mind is neither your enemy or friend. It's your own shadow, it's your own projection. So please relax, and then you will see the whole world will seem peaceful. So peaceful that you will not be able to identify what is good, what is bad. Everything will feel one. The best way to deal with it is, first of all, forgive yourself, forgive others, feel unconditional love for yourself and for everyone. That's the best frequency to be in. That's also called the ultimate source frequency. Because of that frequency, there is the projection, and there are other vibrations. Because of that, there is the experience of the world. So if you are in that sense of being kind, being compassionate, being loving unconditionally, not expecting love from others because you are loving for towards others, no, not like that, then you will see that you are going very close to the source. That's also another way to express it. That's why it is also called God frequency, because the source and that ultimate power is supposed to be loving, compassionate. Because how can that ultimate source discriminate that this is good, this is bad? It allows everything, it embraces everything. So you are that. It's just that gradually you will open up to that. So that's the advice for you. We can take probably one or two questions. One here is, I understand that meditation helps us stay in the present moment and not think about past or future. I heard a sad news earlier today and immediately I felt anxiety. So what if there is a real world problem in the present moment? I've been doing effortless meditation for years now. Okay. So see, as you mentioned, you heard a sad news and your mind is feeling anxiety. So you don't have to suppress that anxiousness. See how mind is responding to it, and then see, is it overreacting, or what kind of feelings are coming? Is it really, should you really feed it further? Would that be helpful? Would it serve you and, positively? Or your mind is trying to justify that, no, this is the situation, I should feel bad today, probably for entire week. Is it trying to justify that? If you think it is justified, you can feed it further, but gradually you will realize that that's never a good approach, because you would see that something has happened. You don't have to, if there is fire, you don't have to put gasoline on it, you know so something has happened. Now best approach would be to identify what's the best way to, deal with it. If is there something you can do about it, or is there something is required around it? So that would be the approach. So I would not tell you what exactly you should do, because you have not mentioned what exactly the sad news is. But I would say, please keep your mind open. If there is anxiousness, do not fight with it, embrace it. Okay, this is a response, and then you will see that a solution would come, that, you know, that whether you should feed it further or you should find a solution or some other way to deal with it. And so one solution can be you distract yourself for some time, you get involved in your work or whatever. That can be one approach, but there may be other things. If that particular incident needs some action around it, you can focus there also. So yes, some difficult situations happen, you have no control over them, and you have to deal with it. But you have to analyze, you know when you succumb to anxiousness and sadness, would you be able to do any positive action? Would you have that healthy state of mind to even think straight? So that's something you will have to introspect. So if you follow this approach, I'm sure you'll get a solution, and you have this choice not to feed what is not necessary. Okay, we can take one more question here. How can I overcome my depression? So Ujjwalji, first of all, please choose some practice. You may have tried few methods before. You can find some of them here. Many people have found them helpful. You can try many other sources. There are many meditation practices available, and you can try those. And right, the best thing is, even if you go to the doctors and if they recommend this cognitive behavior therapy that involves element of meditation and breathing practices, pranayama, so all that is already there. You utilize it, and do not hold yourself from seeking help. If you have access to any doctor, please get help. But please be mindful that ultimately it is about changing the perspective. There may be some reason, some story behind how it got triggered, whatever the backstory is, you can come out of it, because it's all in the head, it's all in the memories. It might have some element of, let's say, anxiousness of future, how, future would be. Or mind may say, what is the point of all this? Or mind may say that, uh, I don't see hope in future, and all these are all, beliefs. These are not tangible things. These are not facts. So if you start questioning your own mind, that if mind is feeling this way, is it really worth it? Can I question it? Can I doubt it? Can I change the pattern? Can I shift my attention to some activities which give you some sense of calmness, some sense of fulfillment? Fine, make a list of those activities, and then you will see that you will change the pattern. The mind will get trained to see things in a positive manner. See, it is not about negative and positive as such. Life is neutral. You give meaning to it. So you have a choice there. You want to give a negative meaning to it? That's fine. Some people prefer that. But is it really a good experience for you? If not, stop feeding that. Is giving a positive meaning gives a good feeling to you? Then feed it further. So that's the approach. And please take help also and use all these tools which are available. And please be rest assured, many people have come out of this. They are living a happy life, and they are joyfully gliding through life. And it doesn't mean that you have to be over optimistic and over hopeful about no life will bring something fancy. No, it's not even about going to the other extreme. It's about being in a neutral positive state wherein you don't care what happens. You have decided that I feel good, that's why I will feed this kind of belief, these kind of feelings, because that makes me happy. That's a good experience for me. So, all these practices, meditation, spirituality, that's the purpose, that you change your mind pattern and then you live life in full-fledged way, and you live a frictionless path of least resistance and a blissful life. So, with that, we hope that this was helpful. And if you will have any other questions, we'll cover them next Sunday, same time. And have a great evening in whichever part of the world you are. And may you live a blissful life. Namaskar.